Hey y'all, Jedi here. We're finishing out our dungeon videos with the Grave of Rot. Probably my least favorite dungeon. Really, for this one, just requires tons of resistance. Or if you have someone who, like Enna, who can clear the debuffs is good. The issue I have with Enna is she only clears one debuff at a time, so she doesn't always clear the heal reduction, which is what kills your team. So this is the team I'm using. We got Thea for her. We need her to have accuracy. She's using the healing prohibition. I've got Furbath here as my tank getting chewed up. Gardas here for the increased resistance debuff. He also helps slow the boss down, keeping speed tunes going good. Hexandra for her heal and her one-times cleanse can help sometimes. And Voresh for all of our damage. So it's kind of the stats if you guys need to go through them. Voresh, I'm not using resistance on him. I'll show you why here in a little bit. Thea, you need resistance on her. I was pushing her up for stage 9 is why her resistance is so high, but I can't really do that consistently. So here we are on stage 8 because I can do this one consistently. Hexandra, all I did from her for my other normal builds is I put her in a resistance chest and I got her resistance up where we need it at. Gardas, resistance gear, and then no resistance on my tank. So we'll get this going. With these stats, basically the only one I need to pay attention to is Thea. Everyone else can just kind of run. You'll see sometimes when the healing prohibition only lands on one person, Hexandra will cleanse it off. And then with Thea, once she hits the first time, she will do a block resistance on this group of 4, which includes Voresh. So even though he doesn't have resistance, it's going to keep him alive. And then basically, I just want to control her special so that she lands this in the same spot each time. Sometimes I'll even start it right after the chewing, and then that'll let me run an auto just for a little bit. Basically, she drops the healing reduction on the boss while protecting everyone else from taking those debuffs. And you just let them run and do their thing. I do see lots of teams that use Enna to help cleanse the debuffs. Some issue with her is if you get hit with 2 debuffs like that, then she only cleanses 1. If she doesn't cleanse the heal reduction, your team can fail because you need your guys healing up. Because they take a lot of damage in here. I do have clanmates who have really good like wild teams that are fairly OP, and all they do is they come in here with nothing but DPS units and then they just nuke the boss down before he can do anything. And they use that strategy on a lot of bosses. So if you have OP legendary teams or you're more pay to win, then this video is not really for you. You probably have one of those teams that can just nuke them down. But if you're doing free to play and you're trying to fight with the dungeon mechanics, then you need heal reduction or something to block your debuffs and keep them moving. If you can block debuffs on your champions with like 1 person or something, then you can just bring in tons of DPS units and nuke the boss down, as long as your people aren't taking that heal reduction so they can heal up during the fight. So that's your 2 strategies, dropping heal reduction so he doesn't heal up, or massive nukes. So even if he does heal, he can't heal up fast enough to keep up with your DPS. It's actually easier to speed tune if I turn off Gardas' special. The reason being is he drops the penalty on the boss so that the boss gets slowed down a lot. We're going to go and stop it there because I want to save my energy. But you can see the run. So when I want to go full auto, I will turn off Gardas' special That way he's not slowing the boss around down. So if he's not slowing the boss down, then Thea can just stay full auto and I can just get her timed out on her move and I don't have to keep using it manually. So then I can just let the dungeon run. However, if I do that and turn off Gardas' special, the dungeon run is a lot slower. So it's a trade-off depending on which one you want to do. But basically he's doing this recharge speed penalty, which slows the boss down a lot. And even if I slow my Thea down to try to make up for that, it still doesn't quite get the speed tune where we need. So it's easier to have her skill haste up and turn his auto off if you're trying to do full auto. Grave of Rot was one of those you're going to see if you come into lineup tips and you do non-legendary teams. There's not very many non-legendary teams. Basically it looks like what other people are doing. They're doing the same thing, a heal reduction champion. So this would be like what my Thea is doing. She's got a heal reduction, so that's what this person's probably doing. Heal reduction from here, heals from here. He does have a heal reduction, but his is all random, so he's not really that great, I don't think. But he's got a full affinity team, so that also helps out. These other teams are using Enna. He's doing heal reduction on all these teams, as you can see. So I just prefer Thea for my heal reduction because this one is on the A2. It's or actually it's on the A3. No, they're using the recharge speed penalty. Okay, I thought this one had heal reduction. So anyways, you can see these ones are using Enna to keep the cleanses, but you got to be careful with that because like I said, if she's not cleansing those heal reductions on your team, it's going to make it harder for you. But come to these teams, you can see if there's some stuff in here that you might have that can help you out. If not, the team I have, if you have these champions, they work great. If you don't have Gardas, you can take him off the team and just use some food or something to get your resistance up higher. Your attacker, you don't need resistance on if you're using Thea because she's going to do that block debuff, so he just has to survive the first time with the heal reduction buff. After the first time, he'll be good to go. That's my team for you. I hope you guys like these dungeon runs. I'm trying to push everyone into 9 free to play without pulling any legendaries. As soon as we get 9, I'll show you guys. Thanks for your time. Have a good one.